Welcome to the OSP Skeet shooting kill shot review. My gun's going to be almost in the break point on high one and just to the right of the line. And as the bird comes out over my head, the gun's just going to ease to the left and touch the bird. You're just going to converge, boom, like that. And I want to shoot the high house bird and the low house bird as singles, where I'm going to shoot them as a double. I also want to see them there. So the low house bird, I'm going to be looking between the gun and the house when I call pull. And the gun's going to be just to the left of the stake, which is where it'll end up on the high house bird on the pair. The look point is going to be the 0-yard line. And the break point is going to be the 100-yard line. So we'll refer to your hold points as a yard line marker. For instance, the 50-yard line will be halfway between where you see the bird and where you're going to break it. On the pair, my hold point on the first bird is actually going to be on the 100-yard line, just to the right of the line of the bird. And when the bird comes out, I just move over and touch that bird. Then I look to the right, I see the second bird, and I take it out. Eyes first in the gun on the pair. When you see the first bird break, look to the right, pick the second bird up, then move the gun in concert with the bird. On high two, our hold point's going to be about the 50 or 60-yard line. And when we see the bird come out of the house, we're going to move the gun away from the target, to the right. Here it comes. And when the target stops, pull the trigger. Eyes are in the hole. It's okay to take your head off the stock so you can look at the target coming out of the window. And the minute you see the target, even as a blur, start moving the gun to the right. And when the target slows down, pull the trigger. Again, we're setting ourselves up for the hold point on the low house single to see it and start the gun where it's going to be when we shoot the double. So we're going to start the gun just to the left of the center stake, and we're going to look between the gun and the low house for the bird. The low house bird is going to be going up at a much greater angle than the high house bird. So on the double, as we kill the first bird, first thing we do is look to the right, pick the second bird up, get about a foot in front of it, 1.5 feet or 1 inch. Away, smack, here it comes, get the speed right, boom. Remember, all your moves except for high one on a skeet in low 7 on a skeet field are always going to be away from the target or away from the house. The first move is away. High 3, going to start about the 60-yard line. As we see the bird, we're going to move away from it, slow it down, pull the trigger. I like to break high 3 as a single, where I would be breaking it if I were shooting in a shoot-off for doubles. Away. Wow. When the bird stops, all you got to do is pull the trigger. It's going to be to the left side of the barrel for me because I'm a right-hander. Away. Yep. Now the low house, we're going to be looking across the barrel. We're going to break it about 10 feet before the stake. And because the low house has a greater angle going up because it starts lower, we're going to start under the line and we're going to converge with it about 10 feet before the stake. When it slows down, pull the trigger. It's more an angle of convergence on low house targets. Away from the target when you see it, away and high, here it comes. You see how the angle converges? Now we're going to go to 4. Hold point, again about the 60-yard line. Eyes in the window. Break the target 10 to 12 feet before the stake, moving away from the target as it appears. 10 feet before the stake's our break point, 60-yard line's our hold point, eyes in the window. Now we're going to go to the low house, do the same exact thing. Hold point, 60-yard line. We're just going to have our gun a little lower because the angle of the low house bird is much steeper as it approaches the stake. Again, we want to break the low house about 10 to 12 feet before the stake. That's where you'd break it if you were shooting the double on 4 coming back from 5. 5 high, we're going to break 10 to 12 feet before the stake. You can see where we're looking. Again, the gun's at the 60-yard line. Remember, the first move is always away from the house. Away, see it? When he slows down, send it. Trying to break that high house 10 to 12 feet before the stake. Now we go to the low house. We're going to start really, really low, close to the sidewalk. That way we have a good upward movement of the gun, which mirrors the upward angle of the target. Looking in the hole, away and up, converging lines with the target to the right of the barrel. If you're right-handed, it's across the barrel. If you're left-handed, it's to the right of the barrel. Now we're going to 6. We're going to set the gun just to the low house side of the stake. Our eyes between the gun and the house as the bird comes. That's where we're going to pick it up on the double. We shoot the low house. Remember, even though it's got a long way to travel to you. There we go. For the low house, we're going to point the gun low in the dirt, looking at the window, and we're going to converge with it. We're just going to move up and converge with the target. Now for the double, we're going to shoot the double 10 feet before the stake. Look left, here comes the high. Go up to the line, pull the trigger. Well, that's why we want to shoot the double 10 to 12 feet before the stake, because if you shoot the single 10 to 12 feet before the stake, the other bird is 10 to 12 feet on the other side of the stake, so you have time to look over, pick the bird up, and get in sync with it. Eyes first, then the gun. Never move the gun to the second target on the pair until after you've seen the second target. Now we're going to go to the high house on 7. Again, the gun's going to start about 10 feet to the right of the stake, and your eyes are going to be between the gun and the house. Do not watch the bird all the way across the field, or you'll lose focus on it right about the time it's supposed to be shot. Look just to the left of the barrel when you're shooting the high house on 7. Just to the left of the barrel. Here it comes, away from the target. Match the speed and send it. The low house, the gun's almost going to be in the break point. You're going to look just to the right of the barrel, and as it comes to the end of the barrel, you pull the trigger. There's not a lot of movement here. When you're set right over the stake, look just to the right of the barrel. The bird's going to come out, just go right to the end of the barrel, and when it almost touches, pull the trigger. Don't look down the barrel, look to the right of the barrel. Okay, and now we're going to shoot the double, just like we shot the double on 6 and the double on 2 and 1. We're going to kill the low house bird 12 feet before the stake, look left, here comes the high house, boom. No problem. I mean, it's repetition. Slowly up and touch the bird. Look left. Match the speed. Pull the trigger. One more time. Eyes still. Here it comes. Move up and touch the bird. And kill the pair. Now let's go to 8. And 8, gun's going to start about the 60-yard line, eyes in the top right-hand corner of the window, come up, cover it up, pull the trigger. Again, the first movement of the gun is always away from the window. You see how I went away from the window? Your brain's going to want to push the gun to the target and then try to outrun it. The first move is up, away from the window, away. That enables you to slow it down. Now we're going to go to the last shot, and that's the low house. Our eyes are going to be in the top left-hand corner of the window. Gun's just to the left of the window, about the 60-yard line. One more time. Away from the target. Away. A point of convergence. We just had to shoot a bunch of these. So, we want to shoot the single targets on the pairs where we're going to see them in the doubles. So that means the first bird on the pair, you want to shoot it where you're going to shoot it on the double so you could pick the second bird up. And for the incoming bird on 1 and 2 and 6 and 7, the gun needs to be just to the station side of the stake, and you're going to look just to the left or just to the right of the barrel, depending on whether you're shooting 1 or 2. If you're shooting 1 or 2, the gun's going to be just to the left of the stake, and you're going to look just to the right of the barrel. Don't look at the house and follow the bird all the way across the field. You can't hold focus on that bird that long. Pick it up just to the right of station 8, and then move with it on station 1 and 2. And on the incomer on station 67, which 6 and 7, that would be the high house. Gun's going to be just to the right of the stake, and your eyes are going to be just to the left of the barrel. Do not watch the bird all the way across the field, or you will lose focus on it. And when you lose focus on it, nothing good happens. Now get out there and practice your hold points and your focal points, and remember, almost every move you make on a skeet field is away from the target. Good shooting.